Hello, you are welcome to Olives. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of drafting, cutting, sewing, and attaching an off-shoulder sleeve band. So do keep on watching. Let's get right into this video. At this point, your top, your dress, your outfit should be ready so we can attach the sleeve band. Okay, so this is mine. You can use your dress by measuring the front and the back, okay, but I'll be using the pattern paper. So I'll measure from the center front this way to the end of this particular one, which is 3.5. Okay, I'll continue from the 3.5, okay, measuring on the other part of the front this way to the end of the armhole, and that is 5.5 inches. I'll keep that as well in mind and continue from the other side. That's the back piece this way. This is 9.25 inch, and also include the last part of the back. Now whatever I get, I'm going to just fold my tape into two, that is multiplying it by 2. So what I have is 25.5 inches. Again, you can as well just measure your front of the dress and back, but I'm preventing this because of the opening at the front. Okay, so I'll get the right measurement, right? Okay, so now we need our round shoulder measurement, our actual round shoulder measurement. So you are going to use your tape round your off shoulder, indicate where your off shoulder is going to start from, okay, and measure around that part. So that is going to help you to know how to draft your sleeve. So now we have two measurements, our round off shoulder and total measurement of both our front and back dress except the sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to deduct this 42 from 25.5 inches. So this is giving me 16.5 inches. Now this we are going to divide to have two sleeves. Okay, this is for two sleeves, so we are going to divide it by 2. So 16.5 divided by 2 will give us 8.25 inch. Now I'm going to round this quarter inch to half inch. Okay, so this in a way is going to affect the total measurement, which is 42 inches. That's the round off shoulder measurement, but you can always adjust. Okay, so let's go on. So this is a piece of fabric that I've cut on fold. That's 2. We have 8.5 inches, right? Now I've folded the fabric into 2, which is giving me one side on fold. I'll go ahead and again and fold into 2. That's a total of 4. Okay, so the height of the off shoulder sleeve band is going to be 1.5 inches. We will then add half-inch allowance. The top is not on fold, but the down is, so we just need one half-inch allowance to sew. Okay, so that's a total of 2 inches. I'll mark 2 inches across and put that into a straight line. So now that's the space for our off shoulder sleeve. Okay, the total measurement we had earlier was 8.5 inches, right? We need about half inch allowance, which is a total of 1 inch, to attach our sleeve to our dress, the armhole of our dress. Now this is folded into 4, right? I first made it on fold because I want the same fabric to line the other. Okay, so first it is this way on fold, and now we folded it into 2 again, so that's a total of 4, right? Now our sleeve measurement is 9.5 inches now. So since we folded this into 2 again, we have to also fold our 9.5 inches into 2. So whatever measurement you have, you mark it this way. Okay, now this is the thing, we can have this straight down. There will be no comfort when you wear it. Okay, so the best thing to do this is add extra 1 inch to the lower part of your sleeve band, and all I'm going to do is connect from that extra 1 inch and up here this way to create an armhole. Okay, that's it. So where my 1 inch is going to indicate the down part of my sleeve. Okay, so remember we had 8.5 inches, and then we added extra half-inch, half, which is 1 for allowance. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out and then cut the second sleeve as well. This is just 1, so I'll do the same thing and cut the second sleeve. Now every sleeve has the front part and the back, right? So I'm going to make sure that I create a little curve. I place it this way and just go a bit deep this way from the down up, okay, just to create the front armhole. And if I fold it this way, you see the difference. We have a little curved one and the straight one. So the curved one is going to serve as the front and the other the back. Okay, so the next thing again I'm going to do is to notch a little in for me to know that this is the front part of my sleeve, right? So the next thing we are going to do again is fold it just like it is and just stitch that ½ inch off. So trim off excess and turn it inside out. Okay, so I've gone ahead to stitch both. I've trimmed the first one. I'll go ahead to also trim this and then just turn it inside out. So this is what we have. I'll go ahead and press it nicely. And so after pressing, this is the front, and I'm going to just attach it to the front of the armhole this way. Using the same fabric, unfold or cutting it two and stitching them together, turning inside out. Look, if you don't have enough fabric to make your sleeve band unfold, you can always cut two and stitch inside out. Just make sure you add allowance, okay? So again, I'll place it this way, the sleeve band on the front, and just fold the lining on it, and then I'll go ahead to turn inside out this way to the wrong side so we can easily put them together. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the lining and the main piece together, making sure the sleeve band is in between so you can see, right? I've pinned the top part before I turned it inside out. Okay, so that's just for the front. I've turned to the right side again, and now I'll pin to the wrong side. It's good to do this so you don't twist the band, okay? So I'll do the same thing to the back as well. Place it on the armhole, fold the lining on it, just pin the top down, okay, just in place so it will be easy for you. Turn the whole dress inside out, or whatever you are working with. So I'm just going to turn it inside out. So this way I have the band in between the front, the lining, and the main piece. So all I'm going to do is match my side seams, so you can see my side seam allowance, right? So I'm going to pin it to the lining and just get to the machine and stitch with ½ inch. Okay, at this point, this is where you just adjust everything nicely and stitch round with ½ inch allowance. Okay, so let's do that. So after stitching, I'll make sure to trim off excess, but I will not trim until I turn it inside out to see if everything is okay. Okay, you have to check if everything is okay, and if everything is well stitched, then you can go back, turn inside out, and trim off your excess. Okay, you do not have to trim off your excess before you turn inside out. Otherwise, if you make any mistake, you might be unable to correct yourself. Okay, so after trimming off the ½ inch excess, I went ahead to notch, and then now we'll go ahead to understitch. So I'll go ahead now to understitch. So you stitch until you can stitch no more. Okay, so after stitching, this is how it looks like. It's as easy as that. Okay, very, very, very easy. So I repeated the same thing to the other armhole, and now we have our two sleeves together. So this is how the front looks like, and here is how the back also looks like, and this is the look on my dress form. This is how the sleeve turned out. If you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something, give it a thumbs up. Give me as well a thumbs up. Let me know what you learned in the comment section. Just share with me what you learned in the comment section. Also subscribe to the channel if you are yet to. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another.